governor promised big economic development news, and we got that. We'll talk about it coming up. This is MetroNews Talkline. We are underway.
Do not attempt to change the station. You are surrounded.
We interrupt this program to bring you an emergency news bulletin. Repeat, this is an emergency bulletin. Keep your radio turned on.
From the studios of WVRC Media and the MetroNews Radio and Television Network, the voice of West Virginia, comes the most powerful show in West Virginia. This is MetroNews Talkline with Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows.
Check set line up link. Activated Telos telephone. Switch network control from Charleston to Morgantown.
Stand by. Cue Dave and TJ. You're on. MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Good morning. Welcome inside the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave Wilson of Morgantown. TJ Meadows is in our Charleston Bureau. Sophia Wasik handles the audio stream on Fridays, and Jake Link is always in charge of the video stream. We appreciate you listening in on one of our great radio affiliates across the state of West Virginia. Also, appreciate you if you're watching on the MetroNews TV app, YouTube, Facebook Live, wherever you may be. Thank you for being part of our morning. Coming up a little bit later, Brad McElhinny will stop by. We'll get the latest on what's happening at the Capitol on Friday as we creep closer to crossover day. Chris Stirewalt in the second hour. Plus, we'll open up the phone lines and text lines to get your thoughts on what is happening. Some athletic bills are moving. We'll recap those as we move forward as well. TJ Meadows holds down the fort at the Radio Ranch in Charleston. Good morning, sir.
Morning, buddy. It's a great day to be in pursuit of happiness. I'll leave it at that.
Indeed it is. Yesterday, Governor Morrisey announced development of a data center or a high-impact intelligence center. The project coming to 548 acres in Falling Waters in Berkeley County. Penzance Management, a real estate owner, operator, developer, and fund manager, is involved in that project. It's helped develop data centers in places like Chantilly, Virginia. A $4 billion with a B, dollar investment in West Virginia. Joining us on MetroNews Talkline from the Morrisey administration, we have given him the title as Data Center Czar. Chris Morris joins us on Talkline from the Charleston studios. Morning, Chris.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing well. First of all, congratulations landing this development over in the Eastern Panhandle. Kind of pull the curtain back for us a little bit and give us an idea of what it took to bring this company, bring this developer to West Virginia for this $4 billion investment.
Well, Dave, first I want to start by, before I answer that question, I want to talk just for a second about data centers and why they can help West Virginia and benefit our state. And I'll tell you, it's funny, if you think about the people who are actually listening to this broadcast and who are watching it via the YouTube or Facebook or whatever you mentioned just now, or the people who are voicing concerns on social media, they're all doing those things because they're using a data center to do them. They would not be available without the use of data centers. And so data centers touch our lives every day, all day. We use our GPS to make sure we don't get lost. We take online classes. We Venmo our kids money. We use Uber. Rural telehealth. We use data centers all day, every day. And so the question is, if we're going to use them, can we benefit from them? And I think the short answer is yes. I think that, having the private sector come in and invest money in our state and not ask for any assistance from the state, and then generate tremendous amounts of revenue that can be used for multiple purposes that were outlined in the bill, but certainly help local economies. And I think that there's just that's the upside, right? There's just tremendous upside, and so this office is set up to evaluate projects and make sure that they're done responsibly, and that we coordinate between local government and the state and the company, as well as federal permitting agencies, to make sure that they're implemented in the proper manner. And so, yesterday was a great day. It was a big day, but it's also kind of the first domino to fall on a project, right? The company has come in and they've spent substantial resources, time, effort, money on securing a site and putting a lot of work already preliminarily into the project. And so that's great. And they've supplied us with our information, and certainly my office and the Department of Commerce evaluated the information and gleaned more information and asked questions and went and looked at the site and then came back and we advised the Secretary of Commerce that per the code, it's reasonable to provide this company with a HIDC designation. And so that was the big announcement yesterday. And I think now it's time to really roll up our sleeves and go to work.
So are you out hunting for these opportunities? Is that what you do?
No, I can tell you one of the things that House Bill 2014 did is generate a lot of interest.
Okay.
And so I have plenty of leads that come and approach us.
Nice.
I'm multiple. It's hard to keep up with, frankly. And so there's a lot of interest. I think that obviously because of all the ways that data centers are used, there's high demand. And so the supply is short. And so people are looking, hey, here's a state that said they're a power generation state, and they're going to welcome this type of investment. And so there is a tremendous amount of interest.
Two-part question, and we're talking to Chris Morris, Morrissey administration. We've deemed him a data center czar. Two-part question for you, Chris. One, what will the immediate economic impact be here for this development? And as you look ahead, once this development is built, what do you foresee future economic development or future economic impact for this site?
Okay. Well, what I would say is, and I'd rather focus in generalities than specifics of this specific project, but there's tremendous economic impact when a data center locates into a community. And I'll tell you, Penzance, fantastic company. They were very interested in developing relationships with local leaders. They want to become part of that community. And so that was a big desire of theirs. And so we certainly help facilitate those conversations. But they are very interested in coming in and doing things the right way. But the economic impact is huge. These data centers, tremendous amount of tax revenue, obviously. If you look at Loudoun County, Virginia, which I'm not suggesting that West Virginia become next Loudoun County, but they generate over $2 billion for the county's budget every year, solely off property taxes on data centers. And so that is almost a half of the state's general revenue fund, or just under it. And so that's a substantial, obviously, economic impact. Obviously, there's also construction jobs, and so laying out a process. Obviously, if a company gets their HIDC designation, that is, as I mentioned, kind of the first domino to fall. They still have to go through the DEP, air permitting, water permitting, SHPO, federal permitting, Army Corps of Engineers, got to work with highways. And so there's a ramp to when you'll actually see construction. I will generally say I would think it would be at least 12 months to see dirt flying when a project receives an HIDC, give or take a month. But then you'll start seeing this 1,000 or 1,500 construction jobs that last years. And then obviously there's full-time employment. And so the jobs that are created are high-tech jobs, engineering jobs, technicians that pay well. And, in this particular part of the state, a lot of the people that work in that industry in Northern Virginia already live in Berkeley and Jefferson counties and kind of live in West Virginia and commute. And so, that's a benefit to those people that they can stay here in West Virginia and work here. So I think there's just a huge upside economically to the state.
I want to get into a couple of the criticisms that I hear. And this is throughout the country, I think. People are concerned that these data center builds, are going to raise their power bill. Who will pay for the power upgrades? Let's start there in Berkeley County with this facility. It's my understanding it'll be powered by First Energy, so it'll be powered by the grid. Will customers in West Virginia be on the hook for paying for this?
So, TJ, that's a great question, and I appreciate it. First, I'll say, yes, there are two different avenues for a data center to be powered. One is the microgrid side, which we don't have any applications, have not received any for that. There's a lot of interest, but that's a long runway. There's a lot of work to be done in those. And so there's also the option of using the grid power. And this project specifically is grid powered. And so that question is a pertinent one. And so with relation to grid powered data centers, any infrastructure improvements or upgrades associated with a data center project, those costs are borne by the company. And so that does not result in a rate increase for for the residential households of the state. In fact, I would argue eventually that you could see a decrease in residential rates as we see large users come in, because these are also opportunities to make upgrades to the grid and have and part of the revenue associated goes to a grid stabilization fund. And so when you have large users come in into a monopoly type setup, you can pass along the fixed cost to more entities. And so eventually, obviously, you'd see a decrease in cost to the extent you have large users coming in and buying power.
Talking to Chris Morrissey administration, and we've deemed him the data center czar. If I understand the governor's news conference yesterday, doing some reading on Penzance, they will build this facility, and then, Chris, are they the ones who actually run the data centers, or then you bring in somebody that needs to locate a data center, and this facility is ready for them? Is that fair?
So there are two basic setups for data centers generally. And that's when the hyperscale company actually builds and operates their own facility. And then there are a number of companies that come in and they build and operate a facility and lease space to the end users. And the end users that buy this type of power and spend this type of capital, they're the same 5 or 6 companies, right? And so they come in and then it's kind of a turnkey thing. They have all the fiber connectivity, they have the power, they have the backup power generation, all provided to them by the company that operates the facility for them.
Water is another big concern that folks raise. Will the project have any effect on the local water supply?
You know, that's first of all, I'll say that is obviously been a topic of conversation. And you know, one of the things I mentioned to Dave, I think last time I was here, every job I've had, it's all about collaboration. And so I've tried to sit down with anyone and everyone that wants to talk about this. And I've had some great conversations with a number of the environmental advocacy groups. And that was one of the questions is, are you evaluating water usage? And the answer is yes. I've kind of created a process and an intake form that contemplates water usage. And I can tell you in general that the industry's made tremendous strides with regard to water usage. Obviously, if you own a company, it impacts your bottom line when you're efficient with resources. And so they're incentivized to be efficient with their water, their electric, because it impacts their bottom line. Tremendous strides with regard to cooling. And depending on the end user, some use water, some don't. And they use other methodologies, closed loop systems. There are some hyperscale facilities that use less power than a medium-sized restaurant once they're
less water.
Yeah. And so, you know, one of the things that came about during our discussion with Penzance specifically and folks in Berkeley County was water. That was a focus of conversation. And as mentioned by president of the county commission there, through those discussions, it became evident that there's a real opportunity to use reclaimed water for cooling at that site. And so that's an opportunity where it saves the county money. It helps the company be successful and saves them money, and it's environmentally friendly. And so, those are the types of conversations that I want to facilitate. One of the things in House Bill 2014 that I thought was positive was creating a single point of contact. And I think a lot of people think that my job is to go out and solely focus on interacting and interfacing with the company. But I also view my role as interacting with local government and facilitating conversations with the company as to what's in the best interest of the local government and the people that live in those communities. It's also to interface with the River Coalition or Tucker United if people are concerned about specific projects. My role is to be that point of contact for anyone that wants to discuss them. And so that's what I've been trying to do over my first 5 or 6 months in this role.
Chris Morris, we have deemed him data center czar, but he was working behind the scenes on this announcement the governor made yesterday. Penzance developing over 540 acres, a $4 billion investment in West Virginia. You can read more right now at wvmetronews.com. Chris, thanks so much for coming over this morning, and best of luck. And any more announcements, you know where to find us.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate it. Back in a moment. This is Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone that does, please listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply. That's wvmetronews.com. Remember, application deadline is May 3rd.
Starting March 10th, MetroNews brings you the 2026 West Virginia SSAC High School Basketball Championships presented by Chick-fil-A.
First title for Spring Mills and boys basketball.
The best teams in the state will once again meet at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center to compete for the title in their respective classes. The girls tournament runs March 10th through 14th. The boys play March 17th through the 21st. Catch all the games on the MetroNews Radio Network and at wvmetronews.com, where you'll also find up-to-the-minute scoring, stats, and brackets, the latest tournament news, and game recaps. Also, you can watch the live HD video streams of the class championships both Saturdays on MetroNews Television.
The luck and skill of the Irish, they win the AA championship.
The 2026 West Virginia SSAC State High School Basketball Championships beginning March 10th, presented by Chick-fil-A, exclusively on MetroNews, the voice of high school basketball in West Virginia.
Every day in West Virginia, we play for something bigger.
As a mom, I play for her education.
I play because it helps provide care for the ones who care for us.
I play to help keep our parks beautiful.
Why I play? Because every play supports West Virginia's future, our students, our seniors, and our state parks. For 40 years, proceeds from the West Virginia Lottery have totaled nearly $13.7 billion. I play. 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
We are there for you, to care for you at the health plan. We are here for you.
At the Health Plan, we are here for you, and we have been one of the most trusted carriers for over 40 years. Headquartered right here in West Virginia, providing exceptional health coverage and local customer service.
The Health Plan, we are here for you.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Calva Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Calva Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
Metro News Midday gives you the news of the day as it's happening.
Yeah, I was going to say we'd get something more important, but probably not.
Honestly, no. We're just doing whatever. We're
probably not.
Join Dave Allen weekdays for Midday on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronewstv.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
We'll get into the Department of Justice suing West Virginia. We'll talk about that coming up. Chris Stirewalt joins us 11:06. Got a couple of minutes here before the bottom of the hour news, TJ. You and I have talked on multiple occasions that Governor Morrisey needed some economic development announcement that he could call his own. That wasn't something that was in the pipeline from the Justice Administration. He made that announcement yesterday and deserves credit for this $4 billion investment in the state in the Eastern Panhandle.
Absolutely. I attended his presser yesterday. I thought he did a nice job of pulling other people in, giving credit to the legislature, giving credit to the Berkeley County Commission. But this is his win. His administration, $4 billion, and he needed it. He needed it, and he has it. But you know what, Dave? Victory brings its own burden. He's going to have more of them. People know you can do it. They're going to expect more and more. So that'll be the next challenge. Can you keep them flowing?
But, again, Governor deserves the credit on this one, landing this, and then you bring those data centers in, those end users in who can use this development. And like you said, okay, that's congratulations. Now, it's like winning the national championship. Congratulations. Now go do it again, is the expectation there.
I actually really like the model of bringing in multiple end users if that's how this turns out, because that's a hedge. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So if you've got all big tech and you've got various companies, that's a hedge for that facility moving forward. I think that's smart.
We'll get your thoughts on it coming up, 304 Talk 304. There are also several bills we are keeping an eye on. It's getting about that time of the year. It becomes very difficult. Things start to move quickly because the legislature goes, crossover day is coming up, which comes up Wednesday when bills have to be out of the House in which they were introduced. So things are starting to pick up. There's several athletic bills. We'll get into all of that coming up with Brad McElhinny, who remains in the belly of the beast this morning, trying to keep up with the legislature in Charleston this morning. 60 seconds. 60-second thoughts from TJ on the week that has been so far. Any thoughts?
Well, get Team West Virginia done.
Amen.
The Senate dropped the ball on this thing. They did. Didn't get it done. Fail. The House is reviving it, moving it through 4001. It'll get back over to the Senate. If this doesn't pass, it will be the biggest miss of the entire session. And the blame should rest and will rest solely on the Senate. This is a no-brainer. Get it done.
To use my worn-out baseball analogy, bases loaded, this is the grand slam. This is the one that brings them all home. You don't want to leave the bases loaded down a run in the bottom of the ninth.
Yep.
Of course, if we're talking about the Cincinnati Reds, that's exactly what would happen. Brad McElhinny joins us from the Capitol next. This is Talkline on Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 10:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. Secretary of State Chris Warner says he'll continue to reject attempts by the federal government to get the personal information of West Virginia voters. That move by Warner is now resulting in a lawsuit against the state by the federal government. The Department of Justice announcing Thursday it's suing West Virginia and 4 other states, including Kentucky, for not turning over that information. A bill alive at the State House would use lottery funds to back revenue bonds to make needed structure improvements to the State Culture Center on the State Capitol Complex in Charleston. Up to $150 million in bonds could be sold. Wood County Delegate Bob Fehrenbacher says some of the problems have had to do with HVAC.
The maintenance team basically had to go find parts that are no longer available. They were found on like eBay from defunct businesses and scavenged parts.
Some delegates questioned the $150 million bond limit as being too high. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito says it's clear that President Donald Trump wants to resolve the current situation with Iran without military action. She says one thing is for sure, Iran can never have a nuclear weapon.
From the day they're born, as an Iranian, they're taught
death to Americans. So we have to remember that, who we're dealing with here. And the capabilities for them to get a nuclear weapon should frighten every single one of us, because we know as they're killing their own people now who are protesting them, their regard for human life is basically non-existent.
You're listening to Metro News. For 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Brighten your mornings with Tudor's $5 sunrise specials. Enjoy our Mary B, egg, crispy bacon, and cheese on our buttery biscuit, loaded with more bacon than the rest. Or try the Ron, featuring a bigger, hearty sausage patty topped with egg and cheese on a biscuit so delicious you'll savor every bite. Each combo comes with crispy hash browns and your choice of coffee or iced tea, all for just $5. Warm up winter mornings with this hot deal. Available for a limited time.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WBRC media event.
Logan Elementary School students head back to in-person instruction by midweek next week after being home this week. Following a fire at the school last Saturday, the students will move into classrooms being readied at Logan Middle School. Logan School spokesman Troy Alexander says they expect the students to be at the middle school for the rest of the school year. That fire last Saturday was electrical in nature. More at WVMetroNews.com. Also at the website this morning, the regional pairings for the boys' high school basketball postseason. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
MetroNews Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown. TJ is in Charleston. MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny is at the state capitol. His report brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Good morning, Brad.
Oh, hi. Good morning from the lovely basement here at the state capitol. So we are approaching some significant deadlines. So I'm gonna dive into process here. That's always great. But Wednesday of next week is crossover day, and if you're not familiar with that term, that means that each chamber has to get out its bills to the other chamber. Allen Iverson, crossover, and to do so, really committees in each chamber have to get their bills out today to allow first reading, second reading, third reading, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've not heard that anybody's going in Saturday. I've left it open on my own calendar, but I've not heard that. So today is a deadline. And I will also say broadly, this program has talked about the legislature having some apparent discipline this year in focusing on, economic issues, and certainly less so than last year, it has seemed, on social issues. That said, today is YOLO Day. YOLO! And the 9 a.m. Senate Finance Committee meeting had committee substitute for Senate Bill 805 relating to abortion pill reversal. I'm not sure about the science of that. The Senate Judiciary Committee meeting, which I just stepped out of, originally on its agenda had Senate Bill 590, making adult cabaret performance criminal offense in certain circumstances. They didn't take that up this morning. I haven't read it. I am somewhat curious about adult cabaret, not as an enthusiast, but as a law reader. Senate Bill 775, prohibiting state entities from engaging in activity related to sexual orientation. There were some First Amendment questions about that one, and it got pulled from the agenda after a few minutes of discussion. Next, the one that the Senate Judiciary Committee has been talking about for about an hour, still going. I stepped out and that conversation was still happening. Originating Bill 1, expanding the crime of indecent exposure. Because it's an originating bill, there's not yet a copy on the internet for people like me and you to see. So I haven't read it, but this was a conversation, a pretty vocal and engaged one among the senators on the Judiciary Committee about what that would even constitute. So there were some questions about to what degree would a person walking into the other sex's locker room have to be disrobed in order for it to be considered indecent exposure? Some questions, practical ones about, well, what if you're the coach of the girls team and you are kind of sweaty and you have, taken off your hoodie? Are you suddenly at risk of whatever this law is going to say? If you have gone into, your gym that you're a member of, and you're in what is meant to be the women's locker room, and you take off your fleece, and you maybe take off your shirt if you're a man, but you've otherwise remaining. Sorry, we're in the family hour here, but there was a lot of talk about particular genital specifics in this committee room. Don't let the homeschool kids enter that room, whatever you do. But to what degree would the law apply to you? At what point are you at risk of criminal prosecution? So that's the scope of where we are today. The box has been completely opened today, Friday, February 27th. With a little more than 2 weeks to go in the legislative session on a variety of social issues.
Brad, is part of this story maybe what the Senate has missed, aside from what you said? Because there was a lot of talk yesterday about Rayleigh's Law. The Senate had a chance to get that in and move it, and they didn't do that. Is that a big miss? Are people? I think there's some senators that are very upset by that.
Yeah, so Rayleigh's Law is one that has come up year after year in the House of Delegates, and it is one that would create greater reporting requirements if parents pull their kids out of public school, move them into homeschooling, and then you just don't hear from the kid. It's in honor of Rayleigh, who died under tragic circumstances years ago. That was on a committee agenda in the Senate yesterday and had pretty significant support, got pulled from the agenda. There is a real divide in the Republican supermajority caucus about what to do about it. And it is controversy in tandem with yet another Senate bill that would loosen up homeschooling requirements generally. I haven't read that bill again, but it's been described to me as liberalizing the standards for homeschooling achievement to an incredible degree. That one has been moving forward in the Senate. It was first reading yesterday, amendment stage today. There is now talk that the one I just described is going to be pulled back and not active. I think those two are the subject of deal making amongst themselves because they are really driving a split in the Republican caucus in the state Senate.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny joining us. Put a pin in those two bills. I want to come back to those next segment, TJ. I have thoughts. We'll come back to those. Brad, as far as things happening at the Capitol, not necessarily legislatively, we found out yesterday afternoon the state of West Virginia is being sued by the federal government.
Oh, man, this is Pam Bondi herself, the U.S. Attorney General, and the lawyers for her. But, there's been this running question. The federal government, the Department of Justice, wants certain voter information from the state of West Virginia. Names, residences, driver's license numbers, last four digits of Social Security numbers. And Secretary of State Chris Warner of West Virginia has said, well, providing that is against state law. We run the elections. We go through the voter files and make sure on a regular basis that everybody is upstanding and eligible to vote. We cannot, under state law, provide the kind of personal information you're asking for. And Warner and the Secretary of State's office have said so twice, formally in a letter. Now the next step is the U.S. Department of Justice has taken them to court, filed yesterday a federal court action in the Southern District of West Virginia suing over that information. The Secretary of State's office, Mike Queen, the Deputy Secretary, spokesman for the office, told both me and TJ he stands behind Chris Warner. And the key part of that quote is bring it on. Bring it on.
makes you wonder just, I don't know. I just don't know how the White House, the DOJ, can ask someone to break state law when clearly the states are in charge of the elections. I just can't understand I mean, gee, you gotta have some nerve to do that, Brad. That's just, it boggles my mind.
They're citing a range of federal law, so that's why it's in federal court. So the Civil Rights Act of 1960, what we commonly call the motor voter law. Mm-hmm. And I think they're going to make this case on federal grounds. Critics of what the federal government is doing claim that the laws they're citing are incredibly broadly defined by the U.S. Department of Justice, that they're, they've selectively interpreted those laws. One thing that's going to be, I think, sort of politically interesting is the Attorney General of West Virginia typically would defend state agencies. So the Secretary of State's office. I think that's probably going to be the case here with West Virginia Attorney General McCuskey and his very capable staff. But it's going to put, yet again, potentially the Secretary of State's office of the state of West Virginia, as well as the Attorney General office of the state of West Virginia, maybe the second or third Trumpiest state in the nation, up against the U.S. Department of Justice and Pam Bondi.
It's so absurd, guys. It's so absurd, TJ. You are suing a state to try to force its Secretary of State to violate state law, like you just said, TJ. It's so absurd. And if we play this game all the time, flip it around. If this was the Biden administration doing the exact same thing, people would be losing their mind. The right would be losing their minds over it because the states run the election. If this administration could ever just get out of its own way and quit doing stuff like this, they might actually get something done. But instead, here we are, suing a state that supports you because the Secretary of State won't violate state code. It's so absurd in my mind.
Well, kudos to Warner.
Yeah,
I mean, he's holding his ground. Kudos to Warner.
What else is going on today, Brad? My favorite question, as always.
Well, so is the segment ended? I'll just tell you nothing. But it surprises me the relatively low level of action here today, because really, I mean, we could have some more committee meetings announced after the floor sessions, which begin at 11. But the workload kind of does surprise me today because there are the deadlines that I described. I was leaving my own schedule open just in case. Well, my own schedule is not very exciting, but I thought we might be in here on Saturday running stuff out of committee. I've not heard that yet. So a fairly quiet day at the Capitol, but an unusually heavy emphasis on social issues in the state Senate.
MetroNews statewide correspondent Brad McElhinny. You can read his work, of course, over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Brad's Capitol Report brought to you by AARP, your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Brad, appreciate it. We'll talk to you Monday.
Hey, thanks.
Back in a moment. Talkline from the Cove Insurance Studios.
West Virginia Natural Gas keeps energy affordable and our state competitive for growth. Producing and using more of our reliable, homegrown energy helps stabilize prices for families and small businesses. Natural gas already supports more than 73,000 West Virginia jobs and generates billions for our economy. Investing in West Virginia natural gas means affordability, growth, and a stronger nation. Natural gas, affordable, reliable, American.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
Kids deserve care that's as specialized as they are. At WVU Medicine Golisano Children's Pediatric Urology, we treat everything from urinary tract issues and kidney problems to bladder and genital conditions with expertise and compassion. Our team uses advanced techniques designed for growing bodies so your child gets the best care possible. Call 855-WVU-CARE to schedule an evaluation or visit WVUkids.com.
For over 30 years, High Technology Foundation has been committed to building a stronger West Virginia. Our mission, economic diversification. By fostering innovation and supporting tech initiatives, we pave the way for a brighter future. From cutting-edge research to tech-driven solutions, we're transforming the landscape. Join us in creating opportunities and driving progress. Let's build a diverse economy together. Visit WVHTF.org. High Technology Foundation, shaping West Virginia's future.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $238 million. Mega Millions jackpot's $458 million. So go ahead, play today. 304-TALK 304 is the text line. All right, TJ, I want to go back to the bill that Brad brought up. It was Senate Bill 966 yesterday. Mike Wolfel actually tried to kill that bill on first reading. That failed, although there were some Republicans that did vote with him. That bill would basically remove many of the standards for non-public education, homeschooling standards for homeschool parents, homeschool families around the state. Not necessarily the specifics about that bill, although I think that's a bad bill. But there seems to be this philosophical disconnect that I cannot reconcile, and it's starting to make me itch a little bit. And it goes to the idea, all those social issues Brad was talking about this morning, even go back to last year, and I'm talking specifically about the Senate here, where you have some senators who certainly by their actions believe very much in government regulation. What you can purchase with your SNAP benefits, for instance, ingredients that go into food, the capacity at which coal-fired power plants should have to operate. All of those are government regulations, government telling you what choices are best for you, how to run your company, how to make your food products, what you can buy with a government entitlement. Okay, that's fine. But when it comes to education, for some reason, some of the very same senators think there should be no government, no standards, nothing. You make all of the decisions, and that philosophical disconnect when it comes to everything else, yes, we need government regulation. We need to tell you how to do it. But when it comes to education, no. there should be no standard when it comes to education. You get to make all the choices. That philosophical disconnect, I cannot reconcile that. And it's making me irritated. It's making me itch, TJ.
The fact that you don't have to have a GED in order to teach or homeschool your child, I'm sorry. I know folks won't like it. That doesn't make sense to me. No reading, math, science curriculum. All right, let's just wave the white flag to China now and say we lose.
We have to have standard. We're trying to have a society here.
Yeah.
There has to be some standard. I totally understand. You want the ability to make the best choices you can for your child and their educational experience. You want the freedom to do that. Homeschooling allows you the freedom to do that. Behind it 100%. But there still needs to be a standard on how children are educated. In society, there needs to be a standard. It can't just be a free-for-all.
When children become adults and they are not prepared for the world, and not all, but it will be some if you don't have standards. It'll be a small percentage, but there will be some if you don't have standards. When those children become adults and they cannot go out into the world and they cannot earn a living and they cannot support themselves, then what happens? We get to do it. The state gets to do it. We get to pay for it. No. So if there are no standards, and we're okay with that, then flag who these children are, because when they become adults, we will have failed them, and somebody will have to take over and support them.
And I balk at the idea that having standards in place, some regulations in place, is somehow anti-educational freedom or anti-school choice. That's not the case. That's just saying, hey, look, here, as a society, these are the requirements we demand for education. And that's okay. That's okay to have educational requirements. Getting rid of all of it, just to open the door, that's not a freedom bill. That's just a bad bill. Just a bad bill.
It's going to be a bad result.
Well, as with many things this session, TJ, I don't know that bill has a lot of support if it gets across the hall, if it gets to the other end of the building, which we've said about a lot of bills this year for some reason.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, but that's my thought. Again, this total disconnect of, on one hand, you need to be told how to run your power plant. You need to be told what you can put in your food. But when it comes to this one issue, we can't touch it. Government can't have any input there. 304 Talk 304, that's the text line. We'll get to a couple of texts. We'll wrap up the first hour. Stirewalt at 11:06. Talk line from the Cove Insurance Studios.
Hospitals drive West Virginia's economy. They produce jobs and create opportunities while keeping our communities healthy. Employing nearly 54,000 people, West Virginia hospitals rank among our state's largest and most dependable employers. They provide more than $1 billion in community benefits and generate nearly $17 billion in total economic impact each year. Hospitals are investing where it counts, advancing health, ensuring access to care, and powering West Virginia's economic future.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
Worried about paying for college? MetroNews is proud to present the 19th Annual West Virginia Scholar Program, where one high school junior in West Virginia will win a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan College, including room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com and click the Apply Now button. Deadline is May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program, presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. Go to wvmetronews.com and apply today by May 3rd.
When my shift ends, I hang up my hard hat and head home, proud of the work we're doing here in West Virginia. Natural gas is more than energy. It's jobs, investment, and opportunity across our state. We put safety first and deliver reliable energy families and businesses count on. For families like mine, it means steady work and a stronger future. West Virginia Natural Gas, fueling communities today and building tomorrow.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
President Trump is right. America's electric grid needs to be fixed now.
When you have a grid system in this country that's obsolete and a disaster, it can't produce the electricity. It can't distribute the electricity.
For West Virginia, obsolete means power outages and lost opportunities. That's why more than 6,000 West Virginians signed a petition urging state leaders to support President Trump's call to fix our grid. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
Coming up, second hour of MetroNews Talkline, Chris Stirewalt will join us. Also, got a couple of bills moving involving athletics. We'll try to get you details on those. And steam release, half an hour away. 800-765-TALK and 304-TALK-304. Those are the numbers to release your steam in 33 minutes. This is Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. Hoppy Kercheval, 5:55 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30. Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this, I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it, because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore. I mean, you did it when you were in school. You did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably. Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could like live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble. Excuse me. When it goes to court here, is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bounced him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Yeah. 10 seconds remaining. There'll be a direct snap here.
Snap back, it's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws, he's got an open man. Pass top 10, 5, end zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be, work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but, God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things. And I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard. And if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
MetroNews Talkline, second hour in Encova Insurance Studios. Dave in Morgantown, TJ's in Charleston. We'll be back at the Capitol on Tuesday. 800-765-TALK is the phone number, 800-765-8255. You can text 304-TALK 304. Get prepared. Steam release is coming up at the bottom of the hour. Your weekly chance to vent. Get it all off your chest before we go into another manic weather weekend. What, like 60 tomorrow? Snow Sunday night into Monday? Is that what I saw this morning? Jeez. I'm over it. But that's March.
Over it.
Can you believe it'll be March when we get back on Monday?
I know. It's crazy.
First 2 months of the year have flown by.
Well, I'm waiting on May. May, the weather ought to be good consistently. So 1st of May, I'm ready for that. Well, hey, lower third here. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say, since you brought up May, waiting for the weather break, it would be a good time to do right now, TJ?
What is that, sir?
Go check out the inventory at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Get ready with great deals on pontoon and fishing boats at Lou Wendell Marine Sales. Check out the inventory at LouWendellMarineSales.com. We sell family fun. Thanks for the segue.
Welcome. You're welcome. I love the good people at Lou Wendell. Lower third. A Billy Boy about to be deposed. Oddly enough, at the Performing Arts Center, it appears. You think he starts the deposition off with just a little, for the record, I'd like to clarify I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
Well,
continue.
Why don't you pose that question to our next guest? Of course, he is the politics editor for The Hill and News Nation, and he's the host of The Hill Sunday on News Nation. He's Chris Stirewalt. What do you think, Stirewalt?
About the weather, about
what
recreational boating.
Meadows' impersonation there of the former president.
Well, it's a good time to think about how much things have changed in American politics. So on the one hand, the things that Bill Clinton did and lied about doing and ultimately admitted to doing, confessed to doing, would now, the assignations with the 21-year-old White House intern, I do not think that the Democrats of today would be so blithe about and so in a post-Me Too framing, Bill Clinton's offenses look very different than they did before. But on the other side of the coin, also nothing matters, right?
Right.
Donald Trump's litany of personal scandals and misdeeds is all shrugged off as a pre-presidency. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. talking about cocaine on toilet seats and all of this stuff. So I think the framing of the Clintons and who the Clintons are, they were harbingers of things to come, right? The way the Clintons practiced politics and what they did, if you look at how Donald Trump dealt with his impeachments, it was pretty much the same way. It was a steroidal version, but pretty much the same way that the Clintons did. Politics of personal destruction, vilifying your enemies, all of that stuff. So the Clintons were the Clintons who now are held out as the way it used to be. Were, they were forerunners of a much worse and a much more destructive politics.
You think Bill Clinton is one of the biggest disappointments in American history? Not so much in terms of what he did. But, here's a guy. Well, think about it. Here's a guy. The economy was rocking, Chris. The economy was rocking. It was about his inability to be a good person in his personal life. But everything else kind of clicked for him for the most part.
When I think it was Ben Bradley recounted the story of how when Lyndon Johnson, they were getting ready for the 1964 Democratic Convention, and Lyndon Johnson had an explicit conversation with these reporters who had palled around with JFK. And he said, essentially, I know you look the other way for the sexual misdeeds of the previous president, and I accept the same privilege. And I expect that you will also hide the things that I do or help me to hide the things that I do because you did it for him. And Lyndon Johnson was a terrible person. And John F. Kennedy was a pretty terrible person. We've had a lot of terrible people be president, right? We've had some real rotten human beings, and Lyndon Johnson very high on the list. The Clintons were an example. The media landscape, the world of journalism and news and politics, all changed very dramatically in Bill Clinton's time. The rise of cable, the birth of the internet, all of this stuff was part of the Clintons. And what they wanted was essentially the same thing that Lyndon Johnson wanted, which is, I just want you to look the other way. I just want you to look the other way. What they discovered, and Barack Obama's book, where he confessed to or acknowledged past vices with drugs and women, is part of what Donald Trump is the fullest flowering of, which is, yeah, I did it. So what? What do you care? And that's how the exchange has changed. Donald Trump, I don't know that Donald Trump is the most characterologically deficient person to have ever been president. We have, as we say, a lot of bad people have been president before. What's different about Donald Trump is he's like out in front with it. It is who he is, and he and his people love him for it, because he, like Huey Long and other sort of populist leaders of the past, makes it a virtue, and says, you need me because I am a rotten person who is rotten on your behalf.
Chris Stirewalt joining us, politics editor for The Hill and News Nation. I'm sure you have seen West Virginia is being sued by the Department of Justice over Secretary of State's refusal to turn over information that would violate state law. Voter information violates state law. It seems, I know, you can call me naive if you'd like, Chris, so absurd when you look at this lawsuit. The Department of Justice is suing West Virginia and 28 other states to try to force the Secretary of State to violate state law. That's what this lawsuit boils down to. And that's absurd. Maybe in a different world it's absurd, but today it's par for the course, I guess.
No, I mean, it is absurd. The degree to which there's a story out now. The Washington Post had it first, but there are a group of advisors to the president. It's one guy who he went to high school with, who represented him in a previous case, and they want the president to declare a national emergency around elections, claiming foreign interference, so the president can exert extraordinary controls over the way states conduct their elections and to forbid mail-in voting and all of this stuff. I don't know whether the president would actually do it, but you can see why it would have a lot of appeal to him to try. And a lot of what this administration, and this is again, speaking of presidential history, this is a trend that has been underway for a long time in both parties. But basically, it is not that you will be the custodian of the Constitution in spirit or in letter, but that you will just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks, right? So you sue, and you're like, maybe we'll get something out of it. Maybe we'll sue, as opposed to saying, well, we're the Justice Department. We know what the Constitution says about how these things are supposed to work. So we're going to be deferential to the states here. Instead, it's like, well, let's just sue everybody and maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe something will stick. And if something doesn't stick in court, maybe it'll be a political lever that we can use on Republican elected officials in these states to try to force compliance or acquiescence. And that's, I guess I'm talking myself around to your point, which is maybe this is just par for the course now. Maybe this is just what happens, which is people don't undertake to be good custodians of the Constitution themselves. They just do whatever they think they can and then count on the courts to sort it out.
Chris, I want to shift to whole hog politics. Today's edition, you talk about Texas, sir, the upcoming midterms. Lay it out.
I mean, we're getting started. We're finally getting down to it. We've been talking about these midterms for basically since 30 seconds after the 2024 election was over. We're finally down to it. We're finally doing it. And I, for one, am relieved that we will actually have some votes. We don't know. We basically know nothing about what is likely to happen in Texas on Tuesday on the Democratic side. On the Republican side, it's pretty clear that we're likely headed to a runoff between the Attorney General Ken Paxton and incumbent Senator John Cornyn. That seems pretty clear. But on the Democratic side, between James Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett, it could be, no one knows. Democratic turnout, I don't know what it'll be today. Today's the last day of early voting in Texas, but it will be 4 times more than it was 4 years ago for Democrats. It would not be surprising to me if the total turnout was 4 times more in early voting than it was last time in a midterm in Texas. And something is definitely going on down there. You have in James Tallarico a sort of Obamian kind of figure. He is very progressive, but he speaks the language of moderation effectively. And not a red America, not a blue America. He's pretty good about that. And in Jasmine Crockett, you have a very Trumpian kind of figure, right? She's insulting, she's brash, she pulls no punches, she hates the press. She is this populistic, antagonistic individual who has made her fame by, being essentially an insult comic. And they're both pretty far left, but she is, you'd have to say, farther left. And if the Democrats pick her and the Republicans pick Paxton, it will be the worst Senate race. I'm going to go ahead and make a bet here. If that is what happens out of this, it will be the worst Senate race. It will be the worst waste of money. It will make everyone feel bad if that is the race in Texas. The Republicans probably still win it if it's Paxton versus Crockett. But if it's Tallarico, then Republicans probably have to pay some closer attention, because he's a more credible threat in an election where a lot of suburbanites and moderates may be trying to get away from Republicans.
He's Chris Stirewalt, politics editor for The Hill and News Nation, host of The Hill Sunday on News Nation, a senior fellow at American Enterprise Institute, author of books and politics on media, books on politics and media. Can't even read my own handwriting. Chris, always appreciate you stopping by. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Happy Friday, fellas.
We'll get to some of your text while we can respond. When we return, also get you updated on where a couple of bills are moving, and I'll try to clarify one bill in particular that I was asked about a dozen times about last night. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals, with a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being. Our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at wvha.org.
Coal-based generation remains the backbone of West Virginia's energy portfolio, ensuring reliability, security, and affordable electricity throughout the region. Our coal plants are engineered for performance, designed to run most efficiently at or near a 70% capacity factor. This level of operation is not arbitrary. It's based on sound engineering principles, scientific analysis, and has been formally adopted by the West Virginia Legislature as a reasonable target for optimal performance. When our coal fleet operates near that benchmark, it provides stable power to the grid, maintains cost efficiency, and supports thousands of good-paying jobs across our state. Coal generation also drives local tax revenue that sustains schools, infrastructure, and community services. Working in partnership with state leaders and the Trump administration, we're ensuring that our coal fleet remains modern, efficient, and ready to power West Virginia and beyond for decades to come. This message brought to you by the West Virginia Coal Association and Friends of Coal.
President Trump is right. America's electric grid needs to be fixed now.
When you have a grid system in this country that's obsolete and a disaster, it can't produce the electricity, can't distribute the electricity.
For West Virginia, obsolete means power outages and lost opportunities. That's why more than 6,000 West Virginians signed a petition urging state leaders to support President Trump's call to fix our grid. Learn more at powerwvnow.org. Paid for by West Virginians for reliable and affordable energy.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers.
With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University. Your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
The Mountain East Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan is back at Wheeling's West Banco Arena, March 4th through the 8th. Past men's basketball national finalists West Liberty and Fairmont State, and 2022 women's basketball national champion Glenville State will be featured from the highest scoring NCAA Division II basketball conference in the country. Visit westbancoarena.com for advanced tickets and Tournament Central at mountaineast.org for tournament information, stories, results, event schedule, streaming, and television broadcast information. Join us for the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan, March 4th through the 8th at West Banco Arena in Wheeling.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
The conversation starts long before the game.
He doesn't do this to other guests, but every time I'm on here, he creates distractions.
Disrespectful.
With his phone. I mean,
I have to have the phone on in case Pete Thamel breaks another story.
Join Tony Carini, Brad Howe, and Hoppy Kercheval for Three Guys Before the Game. Metro News Television, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at wvmetronews.com.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
West Virginia.
If you have a child who's a junior in high school in West Virginia or know someone who does, listen up. Here's your opportunity to win a full scholarship from West Virginia Wesleyan College that includes room, board, tuition, and fees. The 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program is presented by ZMM Architects and Engineers and the West Virginia Farm Bureau. The deadline to apply is May 3rd. For details, go to wvmetronews.com to apply, wvmetronews.com. Again, the application deadline is May 3rd. Steam release coming up. Get your steams ready at 304-TALK 304 and 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. I know the sample size might be just a bit skewed, TJ. Okay. Last night was over at the Rowdy Center, had Morgantown versus Martinsburg basketball. And I don't know, people think that I was at the legislature all week and have a full understanding of everything that's going on. But I was asked several times about House Bill 4425 in particular, the transfer bill. What's the rule? What are they going to do? What's the new law going to be? Let me clarify this. This is very, very simple, and this is exactly what they should be doing. All that bill does is repeal the state code that required the one-time transfers, which kind of created this unofficial transfer portal. That's all it does. It repeals that state code. Then it would be up to the Secondary Schools Activities Commission and their member schools that vote and create rules and proposals to actually bring the proposal forward, change the rule, and then that would have to be voted on and approved by the State Board of Education. All this bill does is repeal that state code. That is all, which is what they should do. I throw in the caveat, I have very little hope for that bill in the Senate, but it is up for first reading in the House of Delegates today. That's all it does, just repeal state code. I know that's a foreign idea, TJ, that we're not going to do more. We're actually going to take something out of state code, but it's all the bill does, so I hope that the explanation helps.
If the legislature is going to stick its beak in on high school sports, then why do we have the WVSSAC?
Well, some are asking that question at the state legislature.
Let the SSAC do their job. They do it well. Get out of the way. It's not hard.
Sure.
It's not hard.
Hey, one other bill there's a couple of bills that caught my eye. This one I hadn't paid attention to. I just saw it up for passage in the House today, House Bill 4563. How's this one for some common sense?
Okay.
Require Easy Pass transponders be registered to the person instead of the vehicle. So you got an Easy Pass right now. It's registered to your specific, car. It has to be in that car, TJ.
Mm-hmm.
Rather, it would be registered to TJ Meadows and up to 5. It could be in up to 5 vehicles. So if TJ Meadows takes the car that day or the truck or whatever, you just take the transponder with you. That one seems to make a little bit of sense. How about that?
I wonder who's sponsoring that bill. Do you know?
Oh, I did not put that on my notes. It's 4563 if you want to look it up.
I wonder if anybody's going to bring it up. Well, then what you're going to have is people are just going to buy a transponder and share. They already do that. They already do that.
You just register the different vehicle on there.
I mean, what would happen if I took, I think we have 2 of them, but what would happen if I took the one out of the wife's van and put it in my car and went through? I mean, is there an enforcement mechanism on that? Do I get a ticket later on? I don't think so.
That's I don't know.
People are doing it anyway.
Hey, I'm just looking for some common sense bills. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyway, you can, of course, keep up Brad McElhinny down at the Capitol. He has all of the explanations. He's on top of all of the bills. How many were introduced this year? Few hundred?
Oh, man. Yeah. Big time. Thousands and thousands.
He's on top of all of them.
You'll pass what? They passed 20? I don't know, some number.
Oh, the vape, David McCormick's Vape Safety Act up for passage today in the House of Delegates as well.
Look, if you're going to tax cigarettes, you got to tax vape. Come on, people. Come on. It's patently unfair if you don't tax vape. Sorry.
I don't disagree with you, but I don't think McCormick's bill's got the tax in it. There is a bill to vape to tax vape.
Oh, that's right.
His is regulatory structure.
You're right.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the one the Senate put over. My bad.
But there is that one got out of the Senate and is over with the House now, correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, it's over there. It was part of the budget bill.
I feel like we should have a whiteboard for these things.
But I don't think the House budget has a tax on vape. So we'll have to see how that. But look, the third rail of the chair there, now starts the negotiation. And so it could come back up. Who knows?
It'll be interesting when we get back to the Capitol next week. We've only got 20 seconds here. We're getting ready for steam release. Where those negotiations are, how those conversations are going. We're talking about the budget and who has been involved in these negotiations when we get back next week. Because we're creeping up on deadlines, TJ.
Well, that one gets done early, so they get it downstairs. That definitely happens.
I agree with you totally. All right, we're done. We're sitting the rest of the show out. Steam release coming up next. Talkline on MetroNews for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia. It's 11:30. Let's get a news update from the Metro News Radio Network. Find out what's happening all across the great state of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. The death penalty could be used in some cases in West Virginia, and a bill alive in the state Senate. The measure passed the Senate Judiciary Committee Thursday evening. It would allow the death penalty to be sought in cases where the murder also involves a sexual abuse of a child. Cabell County Senator Scott Fuller was a yes vote.
Because of what the sheriff had mentioned when he came up here, the fact that these people like this cannot be rehabilitated.
Jackson County Sheriff Ross Mellinger testified the bill now goes to the full Senate for consideration. Supporters of the Hope Scholarship can claim victory with a scaled-down bill moving through the House of Delegates. The first originating bill in the House Finance Committee called for spending caps, restrictions on educational services, and testing of those who receive Hope. The bill that came out does just one thing. It changes the state payouts for the scholarship from twice a year to 4 times a year. Cabell County Delegate Evan Worrell says there are some common misconceptions about the program.
There's no transfer of cash to the families. Payments go to the private school, or you have to go to the portal and order from there, and sometimes those orders get denied.
That bill now heads to the full House floor. U.S. Senator Shelley Moore Capito says she has her eyes on President Donald Trump's continued talks with Iran.
One of the things that stood out to me is his, I think, very sincere demand that a diplomatic solution can be reached here, or should be the real answer.
Capito says Iran cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
Now showing on MetroNews Television, your friends at Hope Gas and Greer Industries present State of Minds. Hoppy Kercheval talks with former WVU quarterback and Super Bowl champion Jeff Hostetler.
I mean, it was just a phenomenal time, my first game, and to be accepted as a Mountaineer.
State of Minds now showing on MetroNews TV, presented by Hope Gas and Greer Industries, only on the MetroNews Television app.
Hi, I'm Zach Hupp, project manager with CEC. After graduating from Glenville State College, I took over my dad's surveying business. It was fulfilling, but when CEC came calling, I knew it was an opportunity I couldn't refuse. With CEC, I'm reaching clients I never dreamed of and seeing projects through to completion. It's more than a job, it's a new chapter. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
A funeral home fire in Fairmont is smoldering this morning after an overnight blaze. It happened at the former J.G. Lampkin Funeral Home on Pennsylvania Avenue. Fairmont firefighters arrived on the scene about 9 last night, battled the blaze all night long. State Division of Forestry says spring fire burning rules begin on Sunday, March 1st. Outdoor burning only allowed from 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. It's only overnight burning allowed with those new fire rules that take place on Sunday. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
The WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance exists because of one extraordinary act, the gift of an organ. Each heart and kidney transplant represents a donor's legacy, a gift powerful enough to turn imminent loss into renewed life. Our dedicated transplant team honors that gift with expert, compassionate care before, during, and long after transplant. Learn more about organ donation and the life it creates at registerme.org/WVU Medicine. One quick note before we get to steam release, friend of the show and West Virginia Watch reporter Amelia Nicely tweeting out that the bill that would have stripped much of the homeschool requirements and standards, that bill is dead, according to Senate Minority Leader Mike Woelfel. That has been sent to the Rules Committee and is, for all intents and purposes, dead for this session. All right, that's your news update. Let's go.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
The weather is manic. It's all over the place. The legislature is closing in on 2 weeks to go in the session. You've had to listen to TJ and me all week from the state capitol. We've not left a lot of time for you. That really creates a buildup. The steam is backing up. The pressure is growing, and if you don't release it, something's going to burst, and it's just not going to be good. Not going to be good for anybody. That's why we offer this to you. You're a opportunity to vent, get it all off your chest, and you will have a better weekend because of it. So give us a call at 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text us at 304-TALK-304. Couple of general guidelines. Number one, try to keep it tight. We'll get as many of your steams on as possible. Number two, please don't get us sued and or fired. Those things kind of go hand in hand. And, of course, the hosts may not respond to any of your texts. You can talk about the hosts. You can talk about previous hosts. And for some reason, you can also talk about producer Ethan Collins. Don't ask me why, but he makes himself available. So, with all of that in mind, let's start on the phones this morning. Batting leadoff, Justin. You are on steam release, Justin. What you got?
Hey, guys. There's three things I want to cover real quick. I called in last week, discussed my dyslexia and how I support the Hope Scholarship, but I 1,000% agree with you. There should be oversight. There should be quarterly testing for the student. There should be periodic check-ins from a counselor, and one parent or guardian should at least have a GED or a high school education. The second thing I want to touch on, we're talking a lot about funding. There's $70 million worth of medical marijuana revenue the state is not spending because of fear of federal law. That is old hat thinking. Why did we go through the process of legalizing medical marijuana if we're not going to spend the money on things the state needs? And finally, this is a question to you guys. Did I hear a bill about adult Cabernet getting out of committee versus Riley's Law, or did I hear that wrong? Could you please answer that? Thank you, guys. As always, have a blessed day.
Thank you very much, Justin. We'll break protocol for just a moment. Yes, Rayleigh's Law did not advance, and I don't know where that Cabaret bill is. Brad was watching that this morning. I think it's in committee. I don't know that it's moved out of committee yet this morning.
Very important bill.
Very important. I guess we're just like the legislature. Every time, once in a while, you got to break rules and move a bill forward. Okay. Let's go to Benny. Benny, what's your steam?
A few days ago, I read something by Mark Twain. He said, if you pick up a starving dog and make him prosperous, he will not bite you. That's the principal difference between a dog and a human being. First thing that went through my mind when I read that was Ilhan Omar. Bye.
Benny, appreciate the phone call. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. You can text the show, 304-TALK-304. Let's get to some of those text teams building up.
Punctuation helps, by the way. One rule. Hey, I have 83 acres in Mercer County and would love to partner with a data center to build here. Please forward them my details. Thank you, says the texter. 304-TALK-304. The Pirates of Penzance will rape and pillage the land in Berkeley County, and West Virginians will end up paying for it. See what you did there. Nice. Gilbert and Sullivan. Hat tip to you. Let's see. Working through my way here, Dave. These are all mixed up from early steams. Dave and TJ, I think it would be pretty easy, and it is a pretty easy sale, to put a data center near the Virginia border. Let's see the governor make it happen in Cabell County, which has lost so many businesses to the state of Ohio. Tax structure has to change, says the texter. Remember the ammo plant, the 2 cracker plants, the $8 billion China was going to invest? Guess what? It never happened. 304-TALK-304. The Berkeley County Commission doesn't even want this. I know them and spoke with 3 of them last night. They don't have a say in it since the ridiculous bill passed last year, according to that texter. 304-TALK-304, again, is that number. I wish the company luck in Berkeley County. But, okay, no, not. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Sorry. This texter on the DOJ issue says they don't care about the law. That's the issue. Text, you don't get the White House suing the state over state law? Do we not forget who we have as president? If it does not go in his favor, he's going to throw a fit and act like the baby that he is. That from George in Martinsburg. Look, I have family that lives in North Carolina. One of their kids is homeschooled. One goes to a charter school. One goes to public school. But guess what? All the kids have to be tested. The homeschooled child either has to go to one of the schools and take the standardized testing or be evaluated personally, individually. But a test has to occur every year. And guess what? None of them get vouchers or extra money to do this. I have no problem with charter schools, etc., but like private schools, you are totally entitled to pay for them yourselves, not with our collective tax dollars. Certain kids don't learn well with the current curriculum and standards. Those kids fail year after year or get pushed through the system without any tools to provide for themselves or their families. Some of the smartest people I know don't have a formal standard of education. The education bill is for individuals at small scale. All the other items Dave mentioned are large-scale issues. Food additives make up cheap, unhealthy food that also are more addictive. The additives cause harm and huge implications on our health and our healthcare systems. You should be ashamed to act like talking food additives out of your mouth is a bad thing. Duly noted. Personal record for Stirewalt, 1 minute, 13 seconds before he mentioned the quote-unquote guy.
304-TALK 304. That is the text line if you'd like to text your steam. Happy to take your phone call as well. The old-fashioned way, 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255, using your touch-tone keypad. Steam release continues in a moment. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
West Virginia Natural Gas keeps energy affordable and our state competitive for growth. Producing and using more of our reliable, homegrown energy helps stabilize prices for families and small businesses. Natural gas already supports more than 73,000 West Virginia jobs and generates billions for our economy. Investing in West Virginia natural gas means affordability, growth, and a stronger nation. Natural gas, affordable, reliable, American.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
Starting March 10th, MetroNews brings you the 2026 West Virginia SSAC High School Basketball Championships presented by Chick-fil-A.
First title for Spring Mills and boys basketball.
The best teams in the state will once again meet at the Charleston Coliseum and Convention Center to compete for the title in their respective classes. The girls' tournament runs March 10th through 14th. The boys play March 17th through the 21st. Catch all the games on the MetroNews Radio Network and at WVMetroNews.com, where you'll also find up-to-the-minute scoring, stats, and brackets, the latest tournament news, and game recaps. Also, you can watch the live HD video streams of the class championships both Saturdays on MetroNews Television.
The luck and skill of the Irish, they win the AA championship.
The 2026 West Virginia SSAC State High School Basketball Championships beginning March 10th, presented by Chick-fil-A, exclusively on MetroNews, the voice of high school basketball in West Virginia.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals, with a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being. Our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Across West Virginia, hospitals are always here, healing, helping, and standing strong for our communities. Hospitals save lives and build livelihoods. They're among our largest employers, with a passionate workforce of 54,000 West Virginians. Hospitals are economic drivers, contributing close to $17 billion to our state's economy and working to ensure access to care for all. From life-saving moments to wellness support, West Virginia hospitals keep our state healthy, our families strong, and our future bright.
It's the late nights. It's the early mornings. It's working in the sunshine and rain and snow. It's the dedication, the care, the hours of training that led to the winner's circle. It's our job, our passion, our lives. We are the horsemen.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
MetroNews Talkline is presented by Encova Insurance, encircling you with coverage to protect what you care about most. Visit Encova.com to learn more.
When it comes to cybersecurity, blind trust is a bad idea. CityNet helps businesses avoid risky connections with proactive monitoring, threat detection, and expert local support. Learn more at citynets.net today. Phone number is 304. No, that's the text line, 304-TALK 304. The phone number is 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. Let's get some more text steams in, TJ.
A lot of people do that. We see it. You try to call 304-TALK 304 to make a phone call and chat with us. That doesn't work. We can't answer it, just so you know. Got to dial the 800 number. Steam, I'm not a Slick Willie proponent, but the worst? They're all the worst. Let's all run for office. We don't have to fear the skeletons in our closet. Hell, it looks like we're embracing them, maybe even promoting them, says the texter. From the Eastern Panhandle, here we go again. Being the state's cash cow, 500 acres of farm ground with a stone home going to be destroyed for a data center. It would be nice to get some support from Charleston for schools and roads. Our governor from the Panhandle. Ha ha. Please tell me one thing he has done for the infrastructure up here in his own county of Jefferson. It's a mess. We need help up here, not just more business to pay for the rest of the state decline. Please come take us back, Virginia, says the texter. After watching the juvenile clown show provided by the Democrats at the State of the Union, I can no longer support any candidate or proposals presented by this inefficient party. Dave, your comment about looking for common sense bills at the legislature, good idea. It will take less than one hand to count them. You all have a good weekend. Steam, George Will was right when he said, quote, there is no bottom. Tax money should absolutely only pay for West Virginia kids to get a public education. That's what public means. Private schools are, by name and definition, private and should be entirely privately funded. Not a single nickel of tax money should pay for a private, parochial, or religious education of any kind. This texter says, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and when I smoked weed in college, I didn't inhale. Okay, Billy. Whatever you say, laugh out loud. Dave and TJ, common sense says the Hope Scholarship is definitely hurting our public schools. Must have a limited number of scholarships granted each year, or are we going to have a lot of empty public school buildings? This texter says, Hoppy for governor, make Adirondack chairs great again. My steam, if we're going to... my steam is we are going on year 4 to finish the bridge at the I-68, I-79 interchange. No way it should have taken this long, and they shouldn't have started 5 other bridges between Fairmont and Morgantown until this one was done. Total safety failure for motorists, says the texter. I get steamed at people when they think that the president should treat people that support Somali immigrants and their widespread fraud with kindness and kid gloves. Lock them up. They're stealing from all of us. We've all heard the rumors about Ethan's cognitive limitations, but is it really true that he flunked a urine test? I don't see anything. You don't say anything. I don't know how these things get out. Dave and TJ, before anyone should vote for a Democrat in 2026, one question that needs to be asked is, are they going to continue Trump's energy policies, or are they going to create more chaos for families who can't afford higher gasoline prices or an electric car? This one, it's a meme here. What's next, Dave Wilson? A denim vest? Uh-oh, denim vest.
Yep. Somebody thinks they're an amateur comedian again, it appears.
Yeah, well.
304-TALK, 304 is the text line. 800-765-TALK's the phone number. Let's go to Jim in Morgantown. Hey, Jim.
Fellas, you had Bill Bissett on yesterday talking about Maha and how he was opposed to taking additives out of food because it might hurt industry. Artificial colors, particularly red dot 40, causes hyperactivity and ADHD symptoms in children. And all of this talk about education and how we have people struggling, or our students struggling in school, we're feeding them a whole bunch of artificial colors before we send them to school and wondering why they can't pay attention in school. I'm really glad that Bill would rather his corporate partners who fund his campaigns make more money on the health outcomes and or the lack of health outcomes on our children and our state. Way to go, Bill. Hope you lose your reelection bid, Goopy.
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. 800-765-TALK, 800-765-8255. For the previous texter, this is a very nice fleece vest with a zipper and not brass snaps. We'll wrap it up. Final call for phone calls. Final call for text. This is Talkline from the Encova Insurance Studios.
Some relationships just work better with trust, reliability, and great communication. That's why more West Virginians are choosing CityNet Gig Fiber. Fast, symmetrical speeds, no contracts, no data caps, and local teams monitoring the network around the clock. Plus, for a limited time, new residential customers can get 50% off any internet plan for a full year, with plans starting as low as $25 a month. Check availability at your address. Visit citynet.net today. CityNet connects, protects, and perfects.
Tens of thousands of hardworking West Virginians earn their living in our state's growing natural gas industry, including thousands for Antero Resources, West Virginia's top natural gas producer. Antero's investments are boosting our local workforce and small businesses. We're proud to give back and invest locally to support West Virginia workers producing West Virginia energy. But the Mountain State's best days are ahead, and Antero Resources is just getting started. Visit AnteroResources.com to learn more.
Since 1926, the West Virginia Hospital Association has been the collective voice of our state's hospitals. With a shared vision of strengthening communities, improving lives, and supporting our state's economic well-being, our member hospitals work every day to provide high-quality, accessible care. This year, we celebrate 100 years of a unified voice and our ongoing commitment to supporting our members in achieving a strong, healthy West Virginia.
A message from the West Virginia Hospital Association, online at WVHA.org.
When my shift ends, I hang up my hard hat and head home, proud of the work we're doing here in West Virginia. Natural gas is more than energy. It's jobs, investment, and opportunity across our state. We put safety first and deliver reliable energy families and businesses count on. For families like mine, it means steady work and a stronger future. West Virginia Natural Gas, fueling communities today and building tomorrow.
This message is brought to you by the Gas and Oil Association of West Virginia.
You're listening to Talkline on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Download MetroNews Television on your iPhone or Android. Search MetroNews Television in your app store. Create an account today to get alerts and watch all live and archived content. Download now.
Touchdown! We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
It's high school basketball season, and MetroNews Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream MetroNews Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on MetroNews Television.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
Jackpots are growing in West Virginia. Jackpots are on the rise every week. Powerball hits Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Mega Millions lights up Tuesdays and Fridays. That's 5 chances a week to get in on life-changing jackpots. Play in-store and online. 18 plus to play. Please play responsibly. The Powerball jackpot is $238 million. Mega Millions jackpot is $458 million. So go ahead, play today. Last call for phone calls and last call for text. 304-TALK, 304 to text your Steam, 800-765-TALK to release your Steam the old-fashioned way. Let's go to Wheeling. Dale, you're on Steam release.
Hey, TJ, you know their guy. It's your old pal Dale Lee. And, you know, tomorrow's Dale's birthday. And this year I wish for 3 things. Public school state championships, 13 hot dogs from Fairmont, and no more Hope Scholarship.
Happy birthday, Dale. Appreciate you calling in. Let's go to Donald in Morgantown. What's your Steam, Donald?
Yes, I've got 6 Marxist policies that go against the King James Bible. Number 1, mandatory education. That destroyed us. Number 2, the income tax. Number 3, taking prayer and the Bible out of schools really destroyed America. Courts allowing divorce. Ronald Reagan was the first governor to allow no-fault divorce. Number 5, encouraging mothers to go into the workplace. Oh, that's a good rule if you really want to destroy a society. And number 6, allowing women to vote in 1920. That put a knife in the back of America. Thank you.
You are welcome, Donald. Appreciate the phone call. Let's work in some text teams. Got a couple minutes here, TJ.
Best State of the Union address in my lifetime, says the texter. I can't be party to a lawsuit. Sorry, folks. I empathize. I can't read that. President Trump's State of the Union address turned out to be a litany of misstatements and a litany of his own fantasies, says the texter. Great to see the president honoring Sarah Beckstrom and Andrew Wolf at the State of the Union speech. It's a shame most of the Democrats didn't stand and applaud. Sarah and Andrew are true heroes. Hey, let's just waste public money to build a tunnel in front of the mountain lair to reroute traffic. WVU has lost its way. I do not have kids in school, so why should I have to pay anything? If you want to play, I think they meant pay, the no money for private schools, then pay for your own kids' education and stop taking my money for your kids, says the texter. There might be 3 people in West Virginia who could pull off a denim vest. Dave Wilson is definitely one of them. Shout out to high school students walking out and protesting ICE, not the America of their future. That's involving contractual obligations. Can't do that one either. Don't want to be sued. Bill Clinton had to be the number 1 client on Epstein Island, says this texter. I think that's probably the last word, Dave.
Follow the news of the day over at the website, wvmetronews.com. Coming up next on many of these same Metro News radio stations, it's Metro News Midday. Please give Dave Allen some of your attention. You don't have to give him all of it. Just some, maybe, a little bit, a smidgen. That'll do. By the way, the latest Metro News basketball power rankings have been released, brought to you by Tudor's Biscuit World. You can see those over at the website, wvmetronews.com. And much to the chagrin of the texter a moment ago, no, we're going to put on a ton of basketball. State basketball tournaments coming up start 2 weeks, actually a week from Tuesday. 56 games in 2 weeks, all on the Metro News Radio Network. We'll see you later.